right. All right, team, welcome back. Hey, we're going to get started. We're on week 6. Okay. As you know, we started at the beginning, starting with a funnel, and we're just and kind of here's how to build a business plan. And now we are going in kind of week by week and hitting some different lead sources. Today, we are going to talk about social media. We've got a wonderful guest. Carrie is on. She is probably the social media queen for here in Grand Junction and basically, and for you guys. So if Carrie pops in, Carrie, you feel free to interrupt me if you've got some words of wisdom as we move forward. But I asked her to pop on as we go through this. If at the end you go, okay, hey, listen, I really want to tackle social media and I want to take it to the next level, Carrie is definitely somebody that you want to be in contact with, and she will help refine that plan. We'll also get you connected with website Todd. And let me see if everybody can make sure that they're muted. But we call him website Todd, at least here in Grand Junction, we call him website Todd. What's Todd's last name, Carrie?
Simon.
Yeah, Todd Simon. All right. So if at the point you guys want to take it to the next level, also we'll get you connected with Todd Simon, and he will be help you also grow your social media influence. All right, and then we've got another guest that just jumped on, and that's Keenan Coit, and from a business or from a lead source generation. Keenan's probably one of the he's the master here in Grand Junction, and he's really a master at social media from what I've seen so far. And we were talking about this morning. So again, Keenan, if you've got some stuff that you want to pop in, absolutely pop in and share. When we get done going through the notes, we're actually going to look at some of one of Keenan's profiles, his Instagram profile, so you can see some of the things that he's done and the success that he's had. So here we go. But you got your notes. Let me share my screen, and then we're gonna get cranking on the notes because we've got quite a few notes today. Do that. Oh, come on. All right. Perfect. All right, here we go. All right. Okay. So we got to start and say, okay, social media. Why social media? Well, I will tell you that social media, 85% of people do research before ever choosing an agent. So, and how are they doing that research? Well, 50% of them are make the decision before even speaking to an agent. All right. Now, those folks are also spending about 79 days gathering information, gathering data. That's on you. And the easiest place to go for people to see data on you is social media, and how are you showing up on that social media. And you can see that last bullet there that says, hey, know, like, and trust. People are learning to know you. They're learning to like you, and ultimately learning to trust you by looking at your social media. And then the last stat here, 72 to 84% are only contacting one agent. So if they're doing the research, they're spending 79 days, and over half of them are spending those 79 days and making a decision before they talk to an agent, and they're only talking to one agent. It behooves you to make sure that your social media is to par. Okay. I'm going to pull up this site here in just a minute, but I kind of want to get cooking here on some other things, and we'll come back to that information there. Okay. Now let's break and say, okay, there's a lot of platforms out there, but each one of them has a little bit different, a different purpose. It's got a different way to engage on it. So let's start with Facebook. Facebook is a social network, allows you to connect with family and friends. right? A lot of people use it. This is an opportunity to use photos, text, and then you can also use live content on Facebook. And we'll be talking live content here in just a minute. But if you haven't seen any live content, that is this raw, this unedited, real-time content where you basically hit the button and you're recording right there. I love live content because you get in front of people, you don't overthink it, you just talk, you talk real with people, and people get the true essence of who you are and what you're all about. The next platform, let's talk Instagram. Okay. Instagram is photo and video sharing. And it's really only focused on photos and videos. What's interesting is the Instagram it links to Facebook, but it's also owned by Facebook. So if you try to put like a YouTube video or something along those lines on Facebook, or a link to a YouTube video on Instagram, those algorithms tend to not like that as much because YouTube is actually owned by Google. So Facebook and Instagram, super interactive. Instagram's also nice because it's not littered with a whole bunch of ads. And then while it's photo and video, you can do both long and short form video. And we'll talk long and short form video here in just a minute. Okay. A new one, or one that's coming to the market now, which is LinkedIn. Really, that is more focused on this professional networking and career development. So when you're engaging with somebody on LinkedIn, you really want to bring a lot of value. It's not about the goofy pictures, not about the goofy video. It's that those are folks that are actually there for a super professional reason. And so engaging them is one that if you become goofy, they're not gonna pay you a lot of mind on LinkedIn. They're looking for more of that professional level of person. We've all seen TikTok. TikTok's coming out. Another social media platform. This is short videos. If you've not been on TikTok, I would encourage you just go get on it, see what it's all about, mess with it. It's a video only, no ads. But what's interesting with TikTok is that if you want to be on TikTok, you just got to figure out what's trending and do this. This is kind of interesting. Do what everyone else is doing. Now that may sound like you're plagiarizing, but in a lot of these videos, if something becomes trending, you got to do what everybody else is doing. All right, YouTube. YouTube, more focused. It's an online video sharing social media platform. I would say there's more long form video in this one. This is going to be video that's over 10 minutes. You will want to build a YouTube page. And then most videos that you see on YouTube are edited and produced. So these aren't the raw footage. These aren't the raw videos. These are folks, these are videos that actually they've spent some time, they've spent some money, putting an actual video together and then putting it up on YouTube. So interesting. This, like I said, YouTube is owned by Google. So the Google YouTube interaction is really nice, but it doesn't play well with the Facebook, Instagram. So if you're ever having trouble with the algorithms, there's a good chance that might be the reason. Okay. The next one is Twitter. But we hear a little bit about Twitter, but not a lot. I mean, you hear more about Donald Trump and getting his Twitter account canceled. But if you want to be on Twitter, this is more just a post. It's people having a conversation, and maybe sharing links to a blog, a website. But there's no video on here. It's just people typing in conversations. So at the end of the day with Twitter, as you're engaging people, and if you're tweeting once a day just to keep yourself out there, I really want you to think locally. And we'll get here in just a minute to as to why I want you to be thinking locally with Twitter. All right. Now let's shift over to content and what content works. The first piece I will tell you is that the hyper local content, if you can master this, you become the authority. If we go back to one of our very first sessions, we talked about the principle of authority. And if you have that, if you come across with a whole lot of great hyperlocal content, people are going to come to you. They're going to flock to you for information about your community. I threw a list down there of ways or, topics for you to talk about, hyper locally, but this is not an exhaustive list. You can, here in Grand Junction, I would say another one that's not on there are the mountain biking trails, because we've got such a great mountain biking industry here. If you can talk mountain biking, you become that hyper local expert that has the authority here in the market. So schools, industries, local entertainment, city stats, restaurants, historic points of interest. If you can go to events and learn about what's coming up in the market, this is a great way for you to be out in front of the community and sharing things about your community that once again make you that authority. Okay. Other content that works behind the scenes. All right, let's say you're getting ready for an open house, or you're going out to do some door knocking, or maybe you're just, you're working on a contract or something along those lines. If you shoot a quick video or do a quick post that says, hey, here's what I'm doing, here I'm getting ready for, but just really those behind the scenes activities that you're doing as a real estate agent. Okay. Probably one of the biggest ones is your personality. The agent personality. That really needs to come across in all of this. When you're doing social media, don't try to impress everybody. You're going to find your tribe. You're going to find your niche. Those are the folks that are going to gravitate towards you. They're going to be the ones that that want to watch your stuff. So here's some ideas. Pets, dogs, great. Always a great social media. Who doesn't love a dog or a cat or something along, that is moving across. So if you got a pet or a dog that's just fun, share with your audience, share with your folks all about those pets that you have. All right. This is where I need your help now. So go ahead and unmute. But what are some of the activities that you like to do as an agent? For me, I'm going to start and I'm going to give you the first one, and I like fitness. So that's something that I can be talking about quite a bit. But tell me, you guys, what kind of activities do you like to be part of, or do you like to take part of?
Golfing.
Trail runner.
Golf. Okay. Hiking. Great.
Hiking, glacier.
Glacier hiking. Okay.
Trail running.
Trail running. Love it.
Volunteering.
Right. Okay. What else?
Fishing.
Good. What else?
Camping.
What else?
Skiing.
Yes. What else?
Gardening.
Yes.
Cooking.
What's that? Cooking? Yep. Good. How about
Making art.
art? Yes. Do we have any foodies out there?
Yeah.
Yeah, foodies, right? A foodie, go into restaurants, being that restaurant expert. Guys, these are all activities. Each one of them is tailored to you. Not everybody's going to be a trail runner. Not everybody's going to be a foodie. Not everybody's going to be a golfer. It doesn't matter. It's what matters to you. And it's what you want to focus on, because we're building this tribe of folks And if you're trying to force an activity that that you don't enjoy, you're going to be miserable. You're not going to want to do it. So find something that falls into what you like to do. And that's what you're going to talk about on social media. Okay. Another piece of content is collaboration with a business or an organization. Are you volunteering with somebody? Are you helping somebody out? Right now, we've got Special Olympics coming up here in Grand Junction. So we're helping with Special Olympics. But how can you collaborate with maybe a title company or a lender or somebody, one of those industry experts that you can collaborate with to produce some content that matters to you? Okay. Humor, absolutely. If you've got, for us dads, some great dad jokes is always good. But anytime that you can bring some humor into social media, people just love it. People enjoy it. All right. Okay. This next one, R&D it. Okay. And if you don't know what R&D is, rip off and duplicate. Okay. Listen, social media is all about R&Ding things. When I just talked about TikTok, the things that are working for TikTok are the things that people are ripping off and duplicating. And if you're ever on TikTok or if you're ever on Instagram, you'll hear the same music or the same phrase, but the picture of the video is going to be different on the background, on the back. People are just literally ripping off and duplicating what is trending on each one of these platforms. That is okay to do. Go do it because you'll see success in it. All right. Okay. Another way to get content for you, for your social media is questions that are coming in your email. And frankly, this could be questions in your email. It could be questions in your conversation as you're talking to people. The great question that everybody always asks is, how's the market? Well, guess what? Answer it on Facebook. Answer it on Instagram. The questions people are asking you, these questions, go ahead and make and shoot a video on it and post it. This is what's important to people that are out there. Okay. Maybe content that other agents are talking about. So we'll show you a couple of Keenan's posts. If you went to Keenan's post and said, what is Keenan talking about? Well, guess what? I'm gonna talk about what he's talking about in my own way. And you take that content and you rip off and duplicate it and do it to your own tribe. Nobody will ever know, because Keenan's tribe is completely different than you guys. And so everybody's got their own tribe, their own followers, their own people that are looking at them. So it's okay to rip off and duplicate some of this stuff that's out there. Now, the next step to this, all right, let's just do a quick review. We've talked about why it's important. We've talked about the platforms. We talked about different content that works. Now let's talk about the schedule of events or the schedule of social media. If for a beginner schedule, you want to be on there at least 5 days a week. All right. And you want to have, hold on for a second. You want to have more personal posts than you have professional posts. And I'm going to show you kind of a stark difference here when we look at Keenan's, how you can see that his personal content is actually doing better than his professional content. So the personal is what keeps people there, which keeps people engaged. And then you start sprinkling in some professional content on the outside of that. Now, that's your beginner plan. If you want to do social media at a minimum, do this. 1 post a day, make 3 out of the 5 days personal, 2 professional, or 4 personal, 1 professional. That's at a minimum. Just this is where you can start. Now, if you want to take it to the next level, Tom Ferry's got a great ideal schedule here, but this gets to be pretty intense. This is 3 to 4 posts per week. This is, you're going live on Facebook 5 times a week, and you are publishing 2 stories every day. And we'll talk stories here in a minute. Then you're going to be on Instagram and you're posting 1 post per day. You're going live twice a week on Instagram, and then you're posting a daily story on Instagram. And then you get on LinkedIn and you're publishing 1 value post per day. Okay. So that is a pretty intense schedule. This is something that would need to be, again, scheduled out. You want your content to be scheduled out. That's what's going to make you successful here. If you attempt to tackle a Tom Ferry. Let me see who do we need to mute here? Antonio. All right, I got you muted. Okay, perfect. All right. So these are 2 different schedules, but if you add a minimum, if you just want to get started and putting yourself out there, hit that beginner plan 5 days a week, 3, 2, or 4 to 1, personal to professional. All right. Now, daily rhythm. As you look at it, this was kind of interesting. Before or during work hours, Facebook posts work the best. So if you're on, throw some Facebook posts on during the work hours, and then the LinkedIn or Instagram were actually working the best before and after work hours. So that's just, if you want to start dialing in a little bit more, LinkedIn and Instagram before and after the work hour. Okay. Now let's talk a little bit about video. There's short form, long form video. Short form is 2.5 to 3 minutes at a max. It can be edited or unedited. I was talking to Sharon Srivatsa, and here's how he explained it. If you draw this kind of U curve, and you have edited over here, and if you have raw video over here, you are going to perform best if you've got super edited content or super raw content. But if you try to do something down here toward the bottom, as far as video production is concerned, guess what? It is not going to perform. So either go all in with an edited video, or just keep it as raw as you can, and throw some captions on there, and you will have a lot more success. All right. Long form video, we talked about, it's a little over 10 minutes. Edited, you'll see a lot of long form video on YouTube. You'll also see it, posted to your websites. Okay. All right. We kind of talked about this. This is going to be 2:30 to 3-minute videos, short videos. Oh, let me back up. I'm sorry. That's not what this is supposed to be. This is supposed to be a reel, which is really a short form video, something pretty short. Reels stick around on your Facebook, usually on Facebook or Instagram, for about 24 hours. They are super trendy, which means that you need to be ripping off and duplicating things that are out there. Topics, you can do the family, you can do the personal stuff. You can also throw education and really some entertaining topics. If you've not been on Facebook, if you've not been on Instagram, have seen what these reels that are out there, I highly encourage you to jump on there, throw some out there. It's only going to be 24 hours. And then you're moving on. It's moving on pretty quickly.
Hey, Jimmy, can I interrupt on that one?
Absolutely. Jump in there.
So you're correct. The reel stays on your page and on your friend's feed for 24 hours, but it has a longer lifetime in the Discover page. You'll see your reels continue to get attention in a broader scale for weeks to come.
Yeah.
So they have a longer life than just 24 hours. So I want to throw that out there.
No, absolutely. Yeah, you're spot on. So it'll stay on the feeds for 24 hours, but yes, it sticks around on your page for a little bit longer than that. So thank you.
Yeah, I would actually add that they tend to last longer than a typical post.
They
So
do.
people are likely to see a reel longer than they would see, like if you posted a photo, they're probably going to keep coming across your reel for weeks on end, rather than just, posts tend to, people will see them for, maybe a day or so, and then maybe not come across them as much after that. So I would actually say that reels tend to have a longer shelf life than your typical post.
Okay, good. All right. So consensus then, Carrie and Kenny, you can jump in there. I know you guys do a lot with reels. I know Keenan, you do a lot with reels. If they're going to put some effort into regular posts versus reels, what would you do?
Right now, I would say reels.
Yeah, reels all day long. The most views, most likes, have the broadest reach for sure.
Okay. Good,
And
good.
with reels, you're not just reaching your audience, you're reaching, people on the Discover page, like Keenan was saying. So Keenan, the people who are seeing, you have a lot more people who are seeing your reels than you do people who are following your page. And that's because people are seeing that on the Explore page. So you're actually reaching a broader audience through reels, whereas a post is more likely to just be shown to the people who are following your account.
Important as well.
Hey, Keenan, your mic's kind of breaking up there, bro.
Move on.
Okay. You can run down to my office too if you want to jump in with me. Great having him in the office here. Okay. Okay, awesome. All right, now let's go through this. This next little section is just some data points or some technical terms that I want you guys to all understand when it comes to social media. And some of this is social media that migrates to online when we talk about websites, but it's all important. Okay. The first one is likes. Here, let me pull this. Okay. And the first one is likes. And simply likes are just a word that's used in the social media world to say, hey, I like this content. So maybe you heart the button, maybe you like the button, but number of likes is a measure of hey, you know what, I know that we've got this many people liking this particular content. Now, the next one is engagement. Engagement really is, did somebody do something with that, or did they share this? Did they like it? Did they comment on that, your particular post or your particular reel? So each one of those is a little bit different depending on the social media platform that you're on. So if you're a Facebook guy, it's a share, likes, followers. If you're an Instagram guy, it's a likes and followers. If you're a Twitter guy, how many times did your particular post get retweeted, and how many followers that do you have? Now, this next one, which is now we're kind of transitioning a little bit into the online space here, but this is your click-through rate. And the click-through rate is just, hey, how many people took the post that you just did and then clicked on it to either go to the website link that you put on there, or took another action that that then takes them to maybe a landing page or a home page, something along those points or those things. So that is click-through rate. And what's interesting is, look at how low that number is. So if you can get 2% or better, better than 2%, you're actually beating the average when you talk about click-through rate, somebody actually taking and clicking on a page to go see something that you just posted about. Right. And all of that leads now to this idea of what's called SEO, or your search engine optimization, which is how is social media interacting with websites to boost your search rankings in the future. So there you go. Those are kind of the big eight. When we're talking about how are we measuring, or how are we doing things? Do we have a lot of likes? Do we have a lot of engagement? Are people clicking through your particular post and taking another action? And then is that all creating and boosting your search engine optimization? So there you go. All right. Now, must do's. When you talk about your audience, you have to think about your location. Remember how we started with hyper local. So let's talk about your location. We're going to talk about your demographic. God, that's terrible. Hold on for a sec. Who are you engaging? Because the people that are hanging out with Keenan are not going to be the same people that necessarily hanging out with me. That's okay. Who is your demographic? Who are you trying to engage? Those are the folks that you want to stay focused on. Those folks all have probably the same interests and probably the same connections. So it's okay to continue to really just be hyper local on those particular folks. Now, your content, okay? Content, authentic. You say, well, Jimmy, how can it be authentic when I'm ripping off and duplicating it? Yeah, it's authentic with the way you're sharing it. So be authentic, but don't be afraid to R&D stuff that's out there. It's responsive, especially as somebody is engaging you. You want to be super responsive to those folks that are, and we're going to come to this, but super responsive to those folks that are out there. And then consistent. This is probably the biggest piece in all of this is how are you being consistent? How are you showing up every single day, every single week, and being present so that you stay top of mind? Once again, it goes back to the point of people know you, they like you, and at some point they're going to raise their hand and say, hey, I trust you. I trust you to buy or sell our house. All right. I'm going to pause. I'm going to tell you a story here about a gal in our office who is she's very politically savvy. She's got a certain way politically that she thinks, and she posts every single day on Facebook about what's going on in the world with her within her political world. Last fall, she had somebody come up to her in the grocery store and say, hey, you're so-and-so. And she said, yes, I am. And she goes, or the gal said, hey, I just want to let you know that I read your posts every single day. I love them. It's amazing. And guess what? When we're ready to sell our house, we're calling you. This agent of mine said, well, what? I don't understand why this happened. I said, I absolutely do, because the content that you're putting out allows people to know you, that the content allows people to like you. And at this point, you've moved a lot of these people into the trust phase. So because they spend time, she's consistent every single day with her posts, people just enjoy the heck out of her. So, but it's, again, she's showing up every single day. Okay. And then this last one, back to content, replicate success. If somebody's having success, yeah, absolutely. R&D it. It's okay. Jump on board, share the content with somebody else that's out there. Ken, you and I were talking about responding to comments. If you get content or get comments out there, yes, absolutely engage, because that's really telling them, hey, say thank you for responding to my post.
Especially on Facebook, because then it will bring the post back into people's feeds. So then you'll get more likes and people will see it again if they hadn't already seen it.
Yep. Okay. Add hashtags. Once again, it goes back to this local demographic, if you have hashtag Grand Junction, hashtag mountain biking, hashtag downtown Grand Junction, hashtag restaurant bin 707. That's one of our local restaurants. Guess what? All of those hashtags matter, because when somebody jumps on Facebook and searches those hashtags, guess what comes up? Your post. Okay, so throw some hashtags on there. Here's a little tip. If you do, we talked about doing 5 5 posts a day, if you do 5 videos or 5, I'm sorry, 5 posts a week. And if you do 5 videos, batch those videos, do them all at one time. Maybe shoot 5 videos all at one time. Just bring a different shirt and change your shirt every single time. That way you've got the content, it's sitting there. All you've got to do now is just post that content. All right. Now, here's some of my tips. And these are things that I've done in the past. They work for me. They don't necessarily, may not work for you, but they work for me. And so here's my tip to you. The first one is don't review your video. Just post the darn thing. Let me say it again. Don't review your video. Shoot a video and post it. Because I don't know how many times that I've shot a video and then I go and I record it and I am my own worst critic. And at that point, I won't repost or I won't post the video. I'll be like, ah, crap, I didn't like the way that sounded, or yeah, I didn't like the way that looked. And at that point, you've just killed it. And there's a good chance that you probably will not post your video. So shoot the video. Come to you in just a second, Jennifer. Shoot the video and just get it on your feed. So yes, Jennifer, question.
I think I have a little bit of social media PTSD.
Okay, got it.
That one was, I get what you're saying. It's so much easier if you don't care and you just
Right.
throw it up. But it's like that 1 out of 100 times you say something, you said it wrong, you get jumped on, and then, or worse, you have a board of directors jumping on you. That's at least my experience. I used to run a nonprofit. So we
Okay.
were heavy social media, and I had to be public facing all the time. It gets like scary. What do you do? Just forget it. Just don't worry about that.
Do something easy. Okay.
Okay.
Find easy content that you're not going to get jumped on for. Okay.
Okay.
Start with your content at this point. And if you can be simple things talking about the market, simple things about the real estate industry, simple things about, hey, I just went and ran, this weekend, I ran the ribbon trail up by Tabawatch, what a local place here. And let me tell you about the ribbon trail. And it was from my experience. Nobody can yell at you at that point because it's from your experience, right? So I would go back to your content and just figure out the easy content to talk about. Okay. Here's
Thank
the
you.
next. Yeah. All right. Next one. Post 1 video every day. Just do it. Just throw it on there. Well, if you shoot the video and post it every day, pretty soon at the end of 5 days, you'll have 5 videos that are out there. You will not watch one of them, and you're going to watch people go on and go, hey, wow, boy, thanks. Hey, that was a good video. Hey, great content. Hey, that's awesome. Now, all of a sudden you start to gain some confidence as you move forward here. Okay. Here's another tip. Do one Facebook Live every morning. I was and I need to get back after it. I don't know why I'm not doing it. I just need to get back into it, but do a drive time. And literally on my way to work, I'll hit the go button on my, the live button on my Facebook and say, hey, listen, I'm on my way to work. Here's some things that happened yesterday or this morning. Here's, let me just tell you about blah, 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 blah. 3 to 5 things, not even that, maybe just something super simple. Appreciate y'all. We'll talk to you soon. Click off. Guess what? It's a live video. It's raw. It's unedited. You're coming from the heart. It's super authentic. And the people that want to watch it are going to watch it. And the people that don't. And that's not a big deal either. Move on. Okay. If you remember, it's kind of like that when we talked about business planning, that it's going to take you 69 no's to get to 1 yes. Guess what? This is just one more video that, some are going to be good and some are going to be bad. That is okay. All right. I'm done with my notes here before we get to, before we jump to, and I show you and I share a couple of these profiles with you. Any questions thus far? Any quick takeaways? Anything that went, oh my goodness, I may need help doing that. Okay, so we're all going to be social media masters here by the time we're all done. All right.
I got a quick question.
Yeah, go for it, Braden.
And this kind of goes out to Carrie. And it was not really such a concern of mine, but one of Julie's is when it comes to those reels, TikToks, things of those nature, they're using a lot of copyrighted music for these trends. And so she was concerned about where does the law fall on that?
Don't worry about that at all. I mean, that's their platform and they're allowing the music to be added on there. So yeah, don't worry about it at all.
Cool.
Yeah,
Thank
anything
you.
that's in that library of the music that comes up as the options, those are all, you have permission to use all of those. So yeah, don't go pulling anything from Google, just use what's right in that Reels library as they're going through the process to create them, and they'll be fine.
Good.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
great question. All right, so I'm going to share a couple different profiles now, so you can see a couple different profiles are done. My question for you guys after this is, if you want to know more, I'm going to come back and ask the question of, do you guys want to know more? Do we want to go in depth on anything else here? And if so, please let me know, and we'll discuss that afterwards, how we can take it to the next level. All right, so let me share this particular screen. All right. So the first thing we're going to talk here. So here's Keenan's profile. Here's his Instagram profile. You can see things are pretty simple up on top. He identifies himself as a real estate agent. He's a 30 under 30 at Coldwell Banker, and he's a husband to his wife, Kelsey. He lives here in Grand Junction. And he's got a website here. As you look down at his posts, you can see the likes that, these hearts that people have shared, but you got this one at 33, and you got Kelsey, his wife, at 75. So obviously you can see that people are more interested in his wife than you are in Keenan. So, and then as we kind of, okay, so this is a particular one. Kelsey hit a hole in one. Keenan posted it. Guess what? It's got 180 likes on it. So once again, when we talk about personal versus professional, people really like that personal touch. I'm just going to kind of flip through that one and go a couple more. Yeah, go ahead, Keenan.
Yeah, and I'll go kind of through my process. So as you see a lot of personal stuff, I want people to see me for who I am, because I want them to want to work with me. I'm showing my family, I'm showing my dog, just as much, content and real life stuff as I can. But then you also see a lot of business posts in there. When you go to the Reels screen, you can see this is why we're talking about Reels being so important. These are the views. And so you'll go down and see, okay, some have around 3,000. There's a 5,000, a 7,000 views. Some of mine have literally like 500,000 views. It's all about the consistency in posting these, because some videos will just blow up and you don't even think that it was a very good video, but for whatever reason, maybe it was the song you chose that was trending, maybe the specific content was good, that it just really just took off. So, but the key thing is the consistency. So I try to do 3 reels a week, and I've seen a lot of success in that. My followers have really grown. But with that, another key thing, anytime you do any post, any reel, you need to share it to your story. Most people now on Instagram and a lot of social media networks, the first thing that they check is stories. A lot of people don't even scroll through the feeds anymore. So a lot of people won't even see your post unless you share it to your story. And it just makes it easy. It makes it so then you have more content to share as well. And if you go to the top of my profile, Jimmy, go up.
Yep.
See the red circle around my profile picture, that means I posted a story. And if he clicks on that, maybe you can on the computer.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, I just did a story during this meeting, and I just showed that I was in the office working, and showed Jimmy on the computer and everyone else in my office, and boom, that's content. Super easy. I threw a song over it. But yeah, stories, you need to be posting on stories every day, and it can be just the most simple stuff. It can be you out golfing, it can be you just chilling, doing whatever.
So, no, you can't see it on Instagram on the computer.
Yeah.
That's one of those things about Instagram is it's primarily a phone-based app. So you can see stuff on the computer, but you do all of the work on your phone. Does it make it a little more cumbersome? Yes, but there's some huge benefits and huge content. What I want you guys to notice here is looking at Keenan's his reels here. These are not professionally done. He's taken these in. He shot the video. He's kind of done some basic editing, not 100, he's not professional, but just some basics. But look at his close, right? There's only one here, this guy, right? 43 likes, and only 2,000 views. But if you get down into some more of this raw footage, 7,400 views, 5,700 views, 70, this is 9,000 views. So at the end of the day, guess what? Here's one, he's in a sweatshirt. He's just doing it. And that's the most important thing is you're just out there doing it. Yes, Jennifer, go. Question.
We need to do separate business pages. So for Facebook, should I do a business page or should I just use my personal page, and same for Instagram?
It depends on the demographic you're going for. I tell people do most of your content on your personal page, because that's where you have all your friends and family and your sphere of influence already. So there's really makes no sense to be posting all this content and trying to build a new profile. I think the Facebook business page is important for advertising. So like if you get a new listing, then you can throw $50, towards an ad budget for it. But I do everything on my personal page.
Carrie?
Yeah, I recommend having both for Facebook. But yeah, like you said, Keenan, you're really gonna have to reinvent the wheel if you're starting from scratch on a business page and building up that following. It's not easy to do. But definitely recommend having one. Any sort of advertising, like you said, any sort of analytics. You can't really get too deep into analytics on a Facebook personal page. So it's nice to have that option. And then for Instagram, I recommend having just one profile and making it a professional account. That way you're still having you're able to get the analytics, the insights, and you're able to add certain things to your profile, like a contact button. There's a few different things that you can do on a professional Instagram that you can't on a personal, but overall they're pretty similar. But you definitely don't need two Instagrams.
You can choose to make your account a personal account, a creator account, or like a business account. And I believe mine's a creator account, and I'm not even sure what the difference is. But look into those when you guys are setting up your profiles.
And you can switch it from one to the other too. So if you have a personal that you built up, you can switch it over to professional or to creator. They're pretty similar, the professional and creator. The big thing is that you're getting those insights so you can see what's working. And then just those few other, little things like having a contact button is really nice so that someone can just send you a direct email or whatnot through your profile.
And listen, team, we're just scratching the surface of this right now. I mean, today is all about scratching the surface. So if you want to go deeper on this, that's what Carrie's here for, to help you guys. So that's what the whole marketing team is there to help you be successful as you endeavor into social media. Antonio, you had a question.
Yes, for Keenan or you, Jimmy, have you gotten a transaction or a lead out of social media? Since, we talk about it, I do it, but has anyone gotten one out of it? Just curious.
Yeah, have you got business?
Yeah, this is my primary focus for my business. I don't do a whole lot of cold calling and all that kind of grinding stuff. I've really just tried to develop a presence online, and a lot of the business that's going to come from social media isn't going to be like directly someone messaging you and saying, hey, I want to list my house. It's just building relationships with people. So when they are ready to sell their house, we're the first ones that they think of, and we're the ones that they want to work with because they see our content online. They know we're a professional. They know me personally by the personal posts I make as well. So it's not necessarily like a lead generator. It's more of a showing off who you are.
Staying top of mind.
Staying top of mind.
Yep, absolutely.
And I would add to that too, that Google Business is not necessarily your typical social media platform, but that is one that you definitely need to be on. So that you're showing up, for lead generation purposes. When someone Googles, real estate agent near me, you want to be showing up. And that's, that's a whole separate topic. But you should be posting to that several times a week, just like you are to Facebook, to keep yourself top of mind there too. So different topic. We don't need to get into all of that, but definitely reach out to us if you don't have that set up, because that's a big one.
Yep, perfect. Okay.
I like to, I call it companion marketing too, like social media, because you can use it to reinforce things. You can use it, like if you're doing a farm in a neighborhood or something, you can use it to complement that. So I like to look at it as companioning my other stuff.
Yeah. Okay, good. Great questions here. Here's another profile. Glenda Baker, and if you have not watched Glenda Baker, I highly recommend that you follow her. I am fortunate enough to be in a mastermind, so if you guys ever have any questions for Glenda, let me know and I can reach out to her personally and ask. But what I wanted to show you is some of these posts that she's put out there, and the hearts on here. But this is one that she did with her son. It's 1.5 minutes long. It absolutely stumped her. And if you can stump Glenda, that's a great thing. But this is her son and daughter. But you can see that, with 14,000, I guess that's 14,000 likes, 14,000 views, pretty impressive. In her, she's tweaked this all up, so she's got, you can go into and you can see TikToks that she's done. These are always kind of fun to watch, but she's just a character to keep an eye on.
And these tabs right here where it says media, favorite, TikTok, all these, this is a great area where you can highlight some of your past stuff that you've done, some of your past content. So say, for example, you had to go back to posts. I don't know why it's showing up. Mine, for example, I have like Grand Junction bars. I have, this is where you can be that hyper local focus, or I have maybe some of my real estate tips up there. And if you go back to hers, because we can see it, she's got, favorite probably restaurants, cakes and something. You can then just make your profile look really nice and people can see some of the interests that you have in a condensed form.
I'm gonna refresh this, see if it pops up there for you. Yeah, there you go.
So GJ Golf, I love golfing, so I'll talk about some of the golf courses in Grand Junction, some of my favorite bars and restaurants, and yeah, just fun things.
Okay. And then the last person to follow here is Jason Pantana. He's marketing coach for Tom Ferry, but another great source of folks to keep to take a look at or to watch. All right, the last thing that I just wanted to share with you, this is kind of an interesting graphic by demographic where people are showing up on social media. I found it interesting that YouTube topped the list here from 18 to 64, and then it jumped to Facebook after that, and YouTube took a short second behind that. But I think people are probably showing up to YouTube to get information to, hey, let me search how to fix something. Let me search for a little bit more long form type content. But for short form content, you're seeing a lot of folks in the younger go Instagram, Facebook, and then from the 39 to 49, Facebook and Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and then YouTube, Pinterest. So this shows you where people are showing up right now. And then I love this comment that the editor was not expecting Pinterest to rise so much with the rank. So he's wondering if that may be a cause of scrapbooking. A little bit of a facetious comment in here. But yet nonetheless, you can see where people are showing up to get their content by age demographic.
Yeah, and I think just off that, to choose the social media platform that you enjoy. and nail that hard. Like if you're not someone who wants to be on LinkedIn and you're not going to spend much time, don't even worry about it. If you're on Facebook and Instagram, use Facebook and Instagram and build off what you already have.
Start with something, get that working, and then add. Don't try to do it all at one time. So, and so if you're going to ask what to start with, Facebook and Instagram would be where I would start. So, all right, questions. We're at an hour here. Giving you quite a bit here.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead, Kelsey.
Keenan, have you done any collabs? Because I've been trying to do that with both my accounts, like, because I have a lot more people on my personal account than my commercial account. So I've been trying to do just collabs with myself so I can kind of cross over people, but I don't know if you've had any help with thinking with your life.
I don't do a whole lot of that. I think if you want to build your business page, then I think you need to post directly on your business page and then share it to your personal page. So then you still hit both.
Okay.
One comment I wanted to make is if you look at all those different Instagram profiles, you will see each profile is very nice and concise on what they say they do. And then all of their posts have great thumbnails, which is what you see before you click on the video. That's very important because people aren't going to click on the video unless they can see maybe what the video is about. That's why you have the caption there. You have the headline. So follow those accounts and really just look at how their accounts look compared to yours to figure out what you can do better.
Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna let me see. I'm gonna take us home here because we're at time. But is there anybody interested in going a little bit deeper on Instagram, Facebook, and really just working the tactics and techniques on Instagram, Facebook? If so, we can put something together a little different. Okay, Jennifer said yes. Peggy Lou. Okay, I'm getting some head nods. Okay. So yeah, maybe let's work on putting something together where we can go in a little more detail on just the Instagram, Facebook on ideas. Yes, Jennifer.
I just know from experience how much time, and it's intense, and then there's a lot of time. And I love how Keenan said, if you don't like it, just forget it. Just pick one or two. But it is so much work, in my opinion. Not that I'm complaining. It's just I want to pick my poison. I mean, is it a big benefit, Keenan, to your business? Someone did ask that question earlier, but I want to know how much benefit. If it's just so that they can go and see a personality and say, yes, I like her, good enough, she's the one. And then get enough up there to populate your platform is my theory. And then, yes, be consistent, try to post a little bit here and there, but enough for them to like you. But in terms of leads, I heard someone ask that question earlier, but what is the big impact for all that work?
Social media is the most important part of my business and my marketing and how I consistently stay in front of people. So it's incredibly important to me. With it, just like it with anything in real estate, there's so many different ways to do things. So it just depends on what you want to do. Like if you want to go and door knock and do those things, that is super highly effective. I don't want to do that. So it's easier for me to edit a video and give content out to my followers. And so for me, it's one of the biggest things that I do.
I guess I agree with that. I guess I'm just trying to figure out how much effort do you put into social? I don't know. I don't think I'm expressing myself correctly.
And I think you need to come up with a plan, just like anything. So yeah, I post stories every single day because I think it is the most important way and the easiest way that I can stay in front of people. And then I try to post 5 times a week. So for you, it might be, hey, I want to do stories every other day and have maybe 2 or 3 posts a week. But then if you're only posting that much, you got to make sure that you have other lead sources that are filling your pipeline as well, and do something maybe more than that I would do.
So do you think for you, I mean, your site, your platforms look fantastic. I already friended you or followed you. So do you think it's just on autopilot for you now, like brushing your teeth? Like Jimmy said, he's just going to do a video in the morning in the car.
Yeah, you just get comfortable with it where you can just do stories all the time, showing what's going on in your life and just trusting and knowing that people are going to enjoy your content because it's good content. So yeah, it's very important.
Hold on. There we go.
Sorry, it's my next coaching team coming in. So, all right.
Okay, thank you.
But
Yeah.
I would love to. Yeah, if any of you guys want any advice or help doing this, I can show you my processes. I go for a lot of my reels. I go to Keeping Current Matters, find a good blog post that's current, and I create a 30-second script. I put it on a teleprompter app, and I read my script and do my thing, edit it real quick, and I can make a reel in 20 minutes.
Or you can go live and go, hey, this is Jimmy and Keenan here at Coldwell Banker Distinctive Properties. Let me tell you about, well, a little nugget of information that we heard in the market today. Blah, 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 blah. Boom, you hit live off. Guess what? You just posted a video, raw, unedited, shared. It's right there, but it's in front of everybody's face all the time. So to answer your question, Jennifer, it's about how much time and effort, you want to commit every day. But to get started, I would say make it easy, right? Go to that, three personal, 2 professional photo or posts every single day. Just start there. And once you get that knocked out, then you can grow, you can slowly make it tougher or, level up your, up your content.
And keep it just back of mind every day. I'm thinking I need to post a story. I need to do something. So I'll have my wife text me pictures that she's taken of me like over the week, and I'll post a personal photo of myself or add a video of our dog jumping in the pool. And just always just back of mind, I'm always thinking I need some content. I need to put content out there.
Yeah. Okay. All right, team. Great. I appreciate you. Well done. And we'll see you guys next week. Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.